And it's Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services. We're in Cheshire, Connecticut today. Get to visit with the folks at Osprey Strategic Research and that visit with their CEO, Robb Rogers. Robb, great to see you today. Visit your company. How about if you would tell us a little bit about it?
So we're Osprey Strategic Research. We are a marketing and sales organization that helps people drive revenue from leads all the way from the prospect all the way to the final acquisition of the customer and everything in between. That includes all the marketing inbound and the marketing outbound. And that's basically what we've been doing for 4 years. And we've been growing pretty well. We're now up to 18 people, and we're having a great time doing it.
Well, that's neat. Now, one of your key services and core competencies is something I did work on, actually did my master's thesis in, is sales lead generation. I used to help manage sales lead generation at Dean Witter in New York City a bunch of years ago. Now, tell us a little bit about how you provide that service and help find new prospects for your clients.
Sure. So traditionally, we were a calling house. So we would pick up the phone, dial 100 times for our clients every single day, all days of the week. But what we found was with all the technology advances, you could do more than that. And you could incorporate and integrate all the different pieces of marketing and social media to increase your decision maker count. And what I mean by that is when we do call somebody, they know who we are instead of just making that cold call. So when we blast out with social media, we blast out with email, and we blast out with other types of marketing as well. And then we make our call. And we make that call based on a lead score that we find through our automation software. And once we have that lead score, we prioritize those calls based on how many points that prospect has. And that's how we do our day.
Very good. It sounds like something I used to do quite a bit of work on and trying to identify what are the key characteristics of a prospect company when you're doing business-to-business marketing. How do you do that? How do you find and do your targeting, find the right prospects for you to call and make contact with those prospects?
Sure. So we use different lead lists out there. There's Dun & Bradstreet's, which is now Hoover's, and there's a couple others. And we find that pretty much they're all the same. So first we acquire the list from there. Then we put it into one of the marketing platforms out there. One's called Never Bounce. We put all the contacts, all the emails into there and see if it's a good contact. Then that's when we put it into our marketing automation platform. We blast out from there. And then that's how we first get all of our leads. Once we do that, then we decide who we're going to call on and use our labor to focus on and find more better leads.
Very good. And sales lead qualification is always a big part of any prospecting campaign, identifying potential customers that are most likely to use a particular service of your client. How do you go through the qualification process and finding the people to call, but then also in a discussion to see if they're really a candidate for the service of your client?
Yeah, great question. So, the first thing we do is when we have the lead list, we make sure that we do the filters, the SIC codes and everything to make sure that we're prospecting in the right area. And then once we do that and we call the business, we've already done the lead scoring. We found out that this was a great opportunity. There's somebody who is actively engaged. Then we call them. And before we move any further past the person who answers the phone, we want to ask 3 questions. First, we verify the size of the business. Next, we ask if they're either an internal, they do everything internal, or if they outsource this particular service that we're looking to talk about. And then third, we ask about the decision maker and if the contract end date is coming up soon. So if they know those 3 things, then we push the conversation forward. We go to the decision maker and then start marketing to them. So there's 3 things: size of the company, are they internal or are they outsourced, and when's their contract end date coming up for renewal. Those are the 3 things.
Very good. And I know your service integrates with a number of sales management software platforms that companies, your potential clients, are likely to use. So important to be able to bring a campaign into the system that can track new business for a company. How does that work, and what are some of the platforms that you're set up to work with?
Sure. So we integrate into 47 different platforms out there. That includes GoToMeeting, Outlook, Salesforce, all the ones that you can think of, we integrate with them. there's a lot of them, and we're continually building more every single day. We have a complete department that's all they work on. So the ones that people would know would be MailChimp. They could go to Constant Contact. They could go to HubSpot. They could go to Salesforce. They could go to the GoToMeeting, like I mentioned before. Those are some of the big ones out there. LinkedIn, all the social medias. Those are the integrations that we have.
Okay. And one of the services that you have is under the banner of MVP Marketing, and it's an email automation service. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So the email marketing platform is more than just email. It's a multi-channel platform. So it incorporates all the social media, it incorporates all the marketing, and it does the lead scoring for us. And it does two-way authorization. So we can run the platform through Amazon or any of the major email hubs out there, and it integrates into your site and is a subdomain off of your site. So if your site is called abcwhatever.com, then we could put a subdomain on there and it would look like it was coming directly from you. So you would get all of your prospecting and you would get your lead scoring from it. So that's the reason that we built it. And that's the thing that integrates into all the major platforms out there.
Okay, and one of the services that you do, you're well versed in working with Google and AdWord campaigns. Tell us a little bit about that and the value of Google AdWords to a client's campaign.
So Google AdWords is a very important piece of any marketing campaign out there. But more specifically than Google AdWords is the Google remarketing. So there's two major things about Google remarketing that it really helps clients right now. So there's cookie-based remarketing. Now, remarketing is when you go to a site, then you leave the site, and then you see the banner up of the site that you just went to. That's remarketing. So there's two types of remarketing. There's cookie-based, where if you go to a site, then leave, and the banner follows you around. And then there's email remarketing. And both of those ways are how we build our clients' reach and frequency. So we blast out through email, then we do everything on social media, drive people to a particular page on the website, and then remarket to those people. The remarketing is now significantly less than doing Google AdWord keyword research. So that's why we do it.
Very good. And I know you've had special expertise in the IT field, but tell us about where your base of clients, what types of companies you tend to serve, and the ones that you'd like to help and work with in the future.
Sure. So we have traditionally been in the IT field, but we really love helping people that are they just don't have time for the marketing, but they know they want to grow their business. It's more the companies that are from 5 people to 50 people that are looking to grow, but don't have the money and the expertise to hire somebody for their social media, somebody for their SEO, somebody for their email campaigns, and then hire a salesperson. So that's 4 different pieces of labor that if you outsource to us, we can dramatically lower that cost and save a lot of people money and improve their ROI, all through this automation that has happened in the last 2 years through our software.
Okay, and we're talking with Robb Rogers, who is the CEO at Osprey Strategic Research based in Cheshire, Connecticut. And Robb, I know, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got to some of the steps in your career. And I know you're a veteran of the U.S. Army, for which we say thank you for your service. Tell us a little bit about your experience and how going from the Army and going back into the business world.
Sure. So I'm from Tampa, Florida. After I got out of high school, I went into the Army. I was in the 82nd Airborne Division from 1990 to 1995, and I was in field artillery. So after I got out of the Army, I went to the University of Florida. Then when I graduated, I met my wife, my future wife there, came up here to live in Connecticut, and then went into pharmaceuticals. After pharmaceuticals, then I went into the automotive industry, and then came into IT. And then after IT, we built this business. The thing about the military that was difficult for me serving, in Iraq and in doing the Haiti campaign in 1994, it was a hard transition out of doing that type of. I was in field artillery, so coming out, I had a really strong base, and I was able to, move past a lot of the stuff. It's still difficult talking about But it was tough to get out. But I went down to the VA. We have a VA here in West Haven. I go down there. That's where I get my health care. That's where I still do all my stuff. And having a family base that was strong and being able to have the courage to talk about it, with family members helped.
Well, thank you for your service. Great to see you. And you certainly made a great transition into business from service in the U.S. Army that my dad proudly served in. And so, Robb Rogers, CEO of Osprey Strategic Research, great to visit with you and hear about your company.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Our pleasure. This is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services. We're in Cheshire, Connecticut today.